Alright, we have a hover 3 from Xile, so... Game number one of the... Game number one of the semi-finals. Xile and Doodle in the Champion Summit in 3-2-1 Tetris. Game number one of game number one? That makes sense. Oh yes. Xile on the regular ROM. On the emulator. Which is odd, because like, why would you do that to yourself? The original ROM is just... more annoying to play because of the reset times. But either way, it's fine. Doodle with an early double flip of the J piece, but it's not gonna do anything bad for Doodle stack. It's one of those situations where the double flip just... it wasn't in a bad spot. Like, it wasn't on the left side and just like created 5 million holes in the stack. So Doodle with just a couple burns so far. Xile maybe wishing he had same piece sets right now because is in a little bit of trouble, frantically tapping pieces over to the left and right side, and the board is looking somewhat cleaner now, and is going to get a Tetris. 99,000 for Xile. Doodle in a bit of a burn situation himself, but a nice split double with the L piece. And is one away from 100,000, incredible. Xenophilius says V for Vinky apparently. Probably. But, you know, that guy's like not around anymore. So, you know. Definitely not me. Definitely not me. The Tetris for Doodle 146. Xile at 168. So a slight lead over Doodle right now. Doodle getting a J dependency field on the left and gets a tuck of the T as well. Takes a triple and a Tetris. I wonder when Champion Summit will be full of players that can routinely play 29. Like surely, if the scene grows, there'll be so many people that can play 29, right? That's like probably the distant future, but it could happen. You never know. There could be 8 divisions full of 2 million PB rollers. That would be a sight to see. A sight to behold. Doodle rolls like he's starting a lawnmower. Yeah, his hand movement is kind of crazy. His hand does kind of move like 5 miles into the air after rolling. But it seems to work out for him, so you can't knock it. The Doodle is a little bit high, has a long bar dependency, and would love a dirty Tetris right about now. Oh, hangs a J piece on the right, and that's going to be an early top out for Doodle at 253. And Xile at 334 is going to be good for game number 1. GG. Warm up is done, it seems. Game number 2. Let's get it counted down in 3-2-1 Tetris. You know what's really annoying right now with the bot? The match command doesn't work, and it's been broken for like ages. So Elo battles is shambles right now, because you can't see who's got a similar PB to you. You have to go by what you know. And I think bot technicians know about it, I think. I'd assume they would. It's been quite a while since it's been broken, I think. Yeah, it just says internal error, Sag, so it just doesn't work. There's Doodle already in a bit of trouble in the early goings here. Really stumbling out of the gate. But has a J double on the left side. If he can get the J piece, it isn't going to get the J piece, so you're going to have to take a few extra burns. And these squares are not helpful. Hits the T-spin though. There's the J for the left side. Wanted that about 5 million pieces earlier. And is actually set up for a mega dirty Tetris and is going to get the dirty Tetris. But there's still holes in the stack. He's only about 3,000 points behind. That T doesn't burn anything. That could have been a scary phantom burn there for Doodle, but was aware of it. Okay, Doodle fighting here. That Z piece is horrible. Oh my god, gets the long bar, but needs something. Oh, gets 4 S's in a row at the worst possible time and tops out at 68,000. And Xile at 109 is already good for game number 2. And is on the verge of a very quick sweep here over Doodle. Anyways, we have a ready from both players. A hover 3 on the left side. So game number 3. Let's get this counted down in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Yeah, those S pieces were literally the worst thing that could have happened in that moment. Okay, number 3, we're underway. Doodle. Definitely capable of some good scores. Hit a level 35 yesterday in the Challenger circuit, which was very, very impressive. So, you know, just because someone tops out on 18 a couple times doesn't mean they're bad. Dylan Armstrong in chat saying, I just got here and saw that ending sequence for Doodle. Yeah, that was pretty painful. Like, what the hell was that, honestly? I think in that situation, I don't know what anyone would have done with those S pieces that could have helped survival. Might be one for Stack Rabbit, that. The Tetris for Xile, 54,000. Doodle, 93,000. No messing about now. It's crunch time. But, you know, topping out on 18 is part of the game. The best players in the world do it all the time. You've seen Dog top out on 18, you've seen Andy top out on 18, Gerald top out on 18, Fractal, Eric, Huff, everyone tops out on 18 at some point in their life, even when they're the best player in the world. So, you can't be ashamed of topping out on 18. That's the copium that I have for you today. 147 for Xile, Doodle with a Tetris to the 166. Xile with a few shaky S-piece placements there. There's a hole on the left side, but is going to be able to get a Tetris anyway. Oh, not anymore though with those placements, and that S is a bit panicky, a bit panic portal, and now Xile is in a bit of trouble. Gets a nice double with that T-piece. And could actually set up for a dirty Tetris, but isn't going to do that. It's going to take the triple. Some nice burns there for Xile, but having to put some more weight on the right side. Oh, a nice adjustment for the long bar. And Xile probably going to get out of this now. There's the long bar flat burn. And has the well open. And there's a Tetris for Xile, 211, but meanwhile Doodle, 288, knocking down a couple Tetrises. And of course the winner will go on to face either Scamper or Trisky in the finals. So definitely no easy matches there. Xile having to take a triple, oh, and nasty ZFZ combo there. And Doodle also with a long bar dependency, and this is looking a little bit problematic. Nothing scary enough to cause a top out, but it's going to be a lot of pace lost for Doodle, and this could allow Xile to catch back up and get some dirty Tetris to Xile, and a setup for another dirty Tetris. And Doodle now with another long bar dependency. Oh no, and Doodle does not want to go out here like this. Oh, and that S piece, I feel like that was a bit of an overshift, but it's actually opened up for a dirty Tetris, but just takes a double. This is not the point where you want to be going all in. And another long bar dependency created for Doodle. It's going to take the Tetris and maybe reacting to that sequence. But, you know, you need to try and keep your composure in these moments. Not play on tilt, because playing on tilt probably normally leads you to play worse. Speaking from experience. There's a nice dirty Tetris for Xile. Gonna bring the stack all the way back down, and there's one burn to move the well over to the right hand side. And has the well open now. Very clean board from Xile. And a Tetris for Xile to go to 348. 5 lines ahead of Doodle, so Doodle with the pace and score advantage. Tetris for Xile, 371, 50,000 points back. Doodle set up for some T-tuck or Z-spin, but decides to fill it in with an S and gets the Tetris. But then creates 2 long bar dependencies, so needs a long bar. Oh, nice L placement to not put it in the well because the long bar was coming. Oh, and that's an aggressive Z placement, but it's going to take the Tetris. And go with the key tuck. Nice couple burns there for Doodle. 468 for Doodle. Xile with a J tuck of his own at 396. Taking a few skims here. Probably not the pace that Xile would like at this point. Filling out the left very nicely there to Xile. Gets the Tetris, get a 423. Xile, one more Tetris available. Doodle with 1 Tetris available. And trying to not burn to get this Tetris, but does have a few burns available. Xile going to transition and instantly misdrop a bunch of J pieces. There's a Tetris for Doodle into transition 540. About 90,000 points ahead of Xile, but Xile is bringing this down. There's a nice L double there for Xile. And Xile is going to work his way down this board. And just clean again with this burn. And his Tetris ready. But now J dependent on the left. Able to bring it down. Takes a couple burns. Doodle now. Been able to score a few Tetrises. That's 621 at the beginning of level 21. And there's a Tetris for Xile, 497. So Xile suddenly with a lot of catching up to do. Probably really needs to hope Doodle slows down at some point or just tops out or something, but Doodle definitely confident on the faster speeds, but that's not to say Xile isn't. But Xile, very dependent, needs something over to the right or the middle. Oh, and set up, oh, the parity, oh, the T pieces, gets the long bar over to the right, gets the T over to the left, needs another long bar to the right, gets the long bar to the right. The perfect L for the left for the double. Tetris of Doodle, 736. Oh, that left side might be a bit high for Xile to access. Gets the J over though. And Xile with hero survival is bringing this down. But Doodle's opened up a monstrous lead. 825 on level 24. Xile almost 300,000 points behind. It's going to need some miracle of sorts to have a chance of getting back into this game. Will need to be tapping faster than he already is. Because Doodle was at 860 at the beginning of level 25. Xile at the end of 25 at 603. So you'd think Doodle has this in the bag, but you can never say never. Especially when there's still 40 lines or so to level 29. There's a Tetris for Xile, 668. Tetris for Doodle, 926. Doodle clearly trying to let out the steam of the previous 2 games. Doodle in a little bit of a slowdown, but I don't even think Xile can even reach his score at this point at the kill screen. But let's see what Xile is able to do. Well, definitely not a slow tapper by any means. There's just no good bar timing for Xile at the moment. Having to take a triple there. Enters 28 at 719, so maximum we can get is 2 Tetrises now. So we'll probably barely break 800,000, and Doodle about to max out. And there's the max out for Doodle. A15, there's another one. Into level 29 at A51. Xile with the Sentinel Tetris into level 29 at 773. Needs an L piece for the left. The L piece not showing up, but can't get it over anyway. It's going to top out 773. And probably more of a formality. But played it out to the end anyway for pride. Doodle on level 30 here, still going. Let's see if he can get the rollover. Or the PB, I guess. even get the 1.1 first. Baby steps. The Doodle is going to get his first heart of the match and is on his way to a reverse sweep. Oh, I can't get the J piece over. That might be it for Doodle. Some more burns, but level 32, A89. Let's get this counted down in a 3-2-1 at Tetris. Grandmaster Ribeiro says, Miles claims to have maxed up 2,000 times, so have some to catch up. Yeah, Miles maxed out Warlord. He's also been playing for about 4 years, so... And I don't think Doodle has been playing for that long. So, you know, progress is progress. Xile off to a pretty interesting start. Has a ghost longbar, a shadow longbar in that stack. So that longbar's not going to clear anything. Doodle going for column 3, the Adam Well, as it's known. I think there should be a point where every column has a name, and it should be named after a person. So it should either be... So column 3 would be the Adam Well, column 1 would be the Vulich Well, or the Anna Well. Yeah. And then someone can play with the other columns and just get known for that, and then we can name columns after them. But everyone plays right well anyway, so it probably wouldn't really work. Oh, and Doodle misdrops a bunch of pieces, spunks the L. That didn't really do anything though, to be honest. Okay, would like a J piece to the left, but throws a T in there, gets a dirty Tetris somehow out of all of that. 132 for Doodle, 134 for Xile. So despite Doodle having this very strange looking stack, is actually not even far behind. And set up for a dirty Tetris now. Is this best of 3 or best of 5? Well, considering it's 2-1, it can't really be best of 3. I believe Champion Summit is best of 5. And not best of 7. Doodle gonna get that dirty Tetris. Xile with a dirty board, takes a nice triple. And surely Xile does not set up for a Tetris up this point at this height. But yeah, I'm pretty sure best of 5. Standard games. I believe it's only playoffs that are best of 7, and this is not a playoff. This is the Champion Summit. The winner just gets bragging rights. And maybe something else, who knows. Xile gets a nice dirty Tetris. Doodle gets a nice dirty Tetris. Yes, best of 3 of best of 3. Yes. This is CT Das. No, it's not. Oh, Xile in a little bit of trouble. Having to take some more burns here. Doodle has actually amassed an 80,000 point lead, just like playing on row 4 this entire game, practically. And Xile playing also on row 4 and gets the Admiral Tetris. Long bar flat burn done very nicely by Xile. And now both players are pretty much back. Oh, never mind. Xile is not back to the bottom, because he's just continuing to build on row 4, just in a different column this time. Probably wants to have column 8 named after him. And gets the Xile Well Tetris. That's definitely going to catch on. Oh, but Xile going all in on this Tetris and gets the Tetris. Fills in that long bar dependency rather than going for another Tetris. And it's just... Oh, isn't going to burn this down. Okay. Finally decides to burn it down. Oh, but then puts S to the right side and looks like he's trying to go for another Tetris, but just eventually burns it down. Doodle over 100,000 points ahead at 385. Xile at 297. So Doodle really awoken after the first two very rough games. So the difference between good players and bad players is that you may both top out on 18, but the good player will not top out on 18 every single game. That's my analogy. I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk. 368 for Xile, 441 for Doodle. There should totally be a TED Talk on NES Tetris. I think that would be interesting to watch. Who would do it though? It would have to be like, I don't know, Pumpy or something. Alright, we've transitioned, so less TED Talk, more Tetris talk. 417 with a Tetris Xile, 441. 492 for Doodle, getting a couple S pieces, 3 S pieces in a row. Again, just dumping S pieces on Doodle, but this time he was equipped to handle it and gets a Tetris. 521 for Doodle, 469, hey now, for Xile. J dependent, gets the J. Takes a skim, ready for a Tetris. Oh, creates a long bar dependency. Probably by accident there with that misrotation of that L piece. Or maybe a misadjustment. Oh, perfect long bar flat burn. Opens up that long bar dependency, but would only be a triple. Trying to get something to burn there. Doodle gets the Tetris. 602, Xile. 482, so over 100,000 points back still, and needs to try and find a way to catch up. Oh, and creates another long bar dependency. Xile taking a page out of Doodle's book there, but has managed to clean it up. Doodle gets the tuck of the J and gets the Tetris. 634 for Doodle, 515 for Xile. Xile Akibars to get Tetris ready. Doodle creates a long bar dependency and immediately is able to fill it in, gets the Tetris. Key tuck there for Doodle and is set up for another Tetris. But takes the triple as the long bar comes, so a slight slowdown as Xile knocks down the Tetris to 575. So is within 100,000 points now, has closed the gap ever so slightly. Oh, now Xile, long bar dependent once again. Needs to find a way to bring this down. This time gets the long bar immediately after creating the long bar dependency. Gets the Z piece over to the left, but can't get anything else. And that spires a bunch of S pieces in the center, but gets the Tetris. And now needs something to... Oh, and hangs that J piece, and that might be it for Xile. That'll be really tough to work around. I don't know if Xile's going to be able to do anything. And Xile is, yeah, going to top out 617. But was basically 200,000 points behind Doodle anyway. And Doodle at 834 on level 26 is going to take this set to a decider. GG. So, we're now at a decider. So here's the decider emote that I totally stole from CTM. No shame. The says Fractal would be a good Tetris talk. Tet talk, says Shionobi. That's really good, actually. How did I not think of that? Yeah. Fractal would be good for a Tet talk. I mean, to be honest, Doodle is way better than Div 4. He's smurfing in Div 4, bro. I don't even know how it's in Div 4. Maybe because he was playing DAS not long ago. That probably hindered him a little bit. Let's see if Doodle can get that back to back. Oh, they're not great pieces though. Oh, and Dead drops the long bar, but luckily it was a long bar, so it's not too bad. Can he get the extra 30,000 points? Oh, he could have got L left. Oh, 970. In this final game of this set, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We love a decider. Tris guys had an extra half hour to warm up, so maybe the second game is going to be good as well. Oh, and Xile just creating a mountain in the center without filling out the left or right columns, but it's gonna get 2 long bars to fill out the left first and then get a Tetris. That was a very weird opening from Xile. But clearly paid off. It was all calculated. Doodle says if he skips Div 3, his elo is gone. But then that's what elo's for. It's meant to measure your skill against other players. So if you lose elo because you're facing higher rated players, then you probably should have that elo. There's no point wailing, you know. Xile with a very weird L placement there. It's going to end up on row 2. Tetris for Doodle with the tuck of the L and a nice adjustment of that long bar to accommodate the Z piece, but it was a pretty interesting finishing long bar placement. I assume Chusky's thanking Doodle for not throwing game number 3 so that she could get some extra warm-up time in. Oh, and Xile misdrops that L piece. But he's able to get that column 9 Tetris. Maybe we should just name every single column after Xile, because Xile seems to be Tetrising in every single column. And now just gets back to that long bars and gets a nice Tetris there. Very dirty Tetris. I'd like a J piece for a clean triple. It's going to take a couple extra burns instead. But it's going to work. Has found a way to make it work. You think column 2's Mendion well? You know, I haven't seen Mendion play for such a long time. But so I don't actually know if he did column 2 wells. So maybe you're right, but maybe you're also completely wrong, I don't know. Dirty Tetris for Xile, 223. Oh, and Doodle kind of misflips that J piece, but somehow has managed to get out of it with just 1 burn and creates a long bar dependency on the left. Okay, goes for the flat T piece. And maybe trying to set up a Tetris somewhere here, but it's not going to work. I'm just going to burn down. You don't either. A very reliable source in Trisky. Tetris for Xile, 316. 328 for Doodle. SS. Long bar. SS. Long bar. Interesting piece sequence there. No place for that square. You do not want to go out like this. Both players in very sticky situations. Xile gets that dirty left of Tetris. Doodle. I'm seeing a lot of blue S pieces. But Doodle gonna get out of that. Huge sigh of relief on Doodle's face. That was a very precarious position to be in. Set up for the S spin, gets the S and gets the long bar for the Tetris. Doodle has survived. And there's only a Tetris behind Xile. And Xile knocks down another Tetris with a 412. Doodle's waiting on the long bar. Isn't getting it just yet, so gonna take some smart burns. And there's a Tetris. Doodle turning his head 180 degrees to look at the screen. Even though I'm pretty sure he's listening to me right now, so I don't know why he would need to look, because I'm giving very good information right now. Xile sets up an overhang with the square, gets the tuck of the Z piece, gets the Tetris to get a 445 at 105 lines. Doodle at 443. Tetris for Doodle 466. Not happy with that placement, because now a very awkward setup. Could work with a J-spin. Oh, and didn't go for the J-spin, took the double instead. And takes a few burns to get out of that. Maybe Doodle can't hear me. And he's just reacting to the game and not what I'm saying. Because if he was reacting to what I was saying, he'd totally be laughing right now. No, he wouldn't. I'm not very funny. Tetris for Xile is going to go to 5-16. It's a very solid game so far for Xile. And a very solid game from Doodle as well. 495 for Doodle. Takes double. Very bad parity though, so nowhere for that square. But it's actually worked out very nicely with those following squares. I'm going to transition 5-21. Xile. Oh, a delayed burn that doesn't work. And this close to transition. This is pretty dangerous. Oh, and you do not want to be up this high at transition. Xile transitioning a little awkwardly. Having to cover the well a few times. But has managed to open it. Immediately gets the long bar. Gets the Tetris 574. It's actually behind Doodle now. And then misshifts that J piece. So there's some additional burning here for Xile. As Doodle is off and running at level 19. Has been playing very good post-transition so far. 627 for Doodle, 578 for Xile. Xile with a bit of an awkward dependence looking board. Gets a perfect square piece though. And a nice double with the L piece. Would love a long bar. That would help out really nicely. Set up for a dirty centaur Tetris. Now very, very dependent. Oh, this is looking problematic for Xile. Gets the Z piece over to the left. Oh, and hangs the long bar on the left. And is going to top out 591. And Doodle with the reverse sweep is going to take this set and move on to the finals of the Champions Summit. The most prestigious tournament in all of the online scene. More important than Classic Tetris League Division 1. More important than CTM Masters event, more important than Mega Masters, arguably more important than the World Championship. So Doodle, congratulations, you're the best player in the world, and you're going to be moving on to the finals of the Champions Summit, CTL Season 20, GG. I don't know if he knows yet, but yeah, Doodle has won the game. So congrats. Going 2 games down early with very early 18 top outs to come back, max out, level 32, level 30, and then here on probably, potentially another max out. So let's give Doodle his final heart. I want to see this Doodle pop off when he wins this, when he finishes this game. Oh, nice adjustment there with that J piece as well. And Shinobi says, that was a wild match. It was indeed. All the twists and turns. The plot armor that Doodle has been having in this tournament is kind of ridiculous. The failed chase down in the previous round versus White Monster when he topped out at like 400k or something and White Monster couldn't chase it down, which would have literally given him the set. Doodle survived that by the skin of his teeth and is once again surviving. But this time, he actually played very well and didn't just get lucky. He definitely played very well. He would have beaten many players of these final 3 games. And here we are, kill screen for Doodle. Let's see if we can get that max out this time. Oh, very long bar dependent. Oh, I can't get that max out, but 986! GG. And there wasn't even a pop-off. How disappointing. I was expecting a pop-off similar to how much he tilts, but there was no pop-off. How unfortunate. Anyways, we're going to be moving on to Scamper and Trisky in the other semi-final match. This probably isn't updated because no one's doing it, and it would have to be me. But let me try refreshing it anyway. Which one is it? Refresh. Oh wow, that didn't work. Oh, it did. But yeah, it's not been updated. So anyways, just imagine on your screen that Doodle has moved on to face the winner of the bottom match. So we're gonna get those players in. I haven't seen Scamper around just yet, so hopefully he's around. He did just play in Hopeful's circuit, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Scamper is not online right now. Trisky saying that she has even more plot